This is going to be a February reading for Gemini. What we have seen in this reading is someone who's developing certain doubts regarding the other person, towards the other person. But from this reading, we will be able to see behind the curtain and understand what's really going on. The information that I'm going to give you before the reading starts can actually be really important to understand and interpret these messages in the best way possible. It's almost like learning the alphabet before being able to understand a language, before being able to understand what the other person is trying to tell you. Now, this could be something that you've heard before, something you're not interested into. Just go back to the intro. At the top right corner, you have the exact minute when this reading starts. So as far as these informations go, what I wanted to tell you is talking about what type of reading this is. This is a general reading. It won't be able to resonate with every single person out there, but make sure to focus on the single messages, because there might be information there that can be really helpful for you at this moment in time. If it resonates, make sure to share, subscribe, like. It's gonna help the channel grow. And if it doesn't resonate, what you can do is checking out the readings for your moon, rising, and Venus sign. Often there are a lot of good messages there as well. Time is crucial in these readings, because people think that if the message comes today and the reading is for February, for a specific month, then everything that they hear is going to happen in that month. Instead, that's not the case. You can be looking at something that has already happened in the past, or that it will happen in the future. But regardless, hearing this message today might change the way you're going to act towards a situation. And that's going to be key for you to get where you want to be. Also, the energies that I pick up on can go both ways. In order to make sense of a reading, I have to pick one person and assign that message to one person. But in your case, that specific energy could be instead coming from the other person in the situation. Feel free to interpret all of this as it best resonates with you. Alright, Gemini, let's start with your reading. I want to look into what you're going through right now, what energies are around you, and what brings you to this reading today. There is something going very, very fast around you. Something that at first it required a lot of patience, required a lot of inner strength, but that right now you are completely approaching in a very clear way. We see perhaps here a conversation coming up, a conversation between you and someone else who you think might have done something that could potentially hurt you. Now, as said in the disclaimer, this could be you feeling this way, or it could be someone who is about to start a conversation with you because they think you might have betrayed them, cheated on them, started talking to someone else. Regardless of that, we see how this conversation is upcoming. It's definitely about to happen. And it doesn't mean that it has to be bad. It can actually be positive. It can actually bring this connection to a level where it's going to be much stronger, where it's going to be better equipped in order to progress, in order to grow. So let's look more into this Three of Swords. Let's look what this person is thinking that might have happened and that you might be hiding from them. Of course, with the Three of Swords, one could immediately think about cheating, could be immediately thinking about some sort of an emotional issue there. But in a couple, in a relationship, we know that issues can be related to other things as well. Maybe not having enough time for your partner, or making wrong decisions, I don't know, about money or about just the living situation, something that could hurt this connection, this relationship. Let's see what that might be. Priorities, values. It could be something related to someone else involved in the situation, yes. We see perhaps that this person who might be involved in the situation could be someone from the past, could be an ex. So, what I'm sensing here is still nothing related to the fact that the person who will receive this message, who will be on the other end of this conversation, actually did anything wrong. We just see that something has happened here which is making the other person doubting the overall situation. Perhaps you've received a message from your ex and they've seen the notification, or they've seen your ex liking one of the pictures, somewhat establishing a connection with you. And so they want to come in and say, hey, what's happening there? Is this going to be a thing, or was this just a message here? And just give me more information. I need to talk about this. I need to understand where you're coming from, and how you feel towards them. We have someone who's being really in charge of this conversation, the Emperor, someone who is trying to really go straight to the point and who's appearing to be very strong. I like this. Although Gemini, I see with this Eight of Swords that this person actually has a lot of fears. They want to appear as though they have the situation under control, but deep inside they're afraid to lose you, afraid to go to a place, bring this conversation to a place where perhaps can lead to a breakup. So we have someone strong here who definitely wants to talk to you and trying to understand where certain things are coming from, but at the same time they're afraid to do so. So let's see how this conversation will change the overall connection between the two of you. I honestly have a good feeling right now. I know that some of these cards can be a little heavy, but I just see two people that care about each other and that are mature enough in order to not be passive aggressive. And that's one thing that Gemini hates, and I agree with that. Someone who's just hiding the issue but at the same time behaving differently. Right here, just pretending that nothing is wrong, and overall though changing the behavior, changing things into this connection right here because there is an issue. And so instead I see someone here who wants to go straight to the point and work for things, work to make them better. I think I've seen a Three of Pentacles earlier. Someone trying to work, collaborate with each other in order to take this to a successful place. So back to my question. Let's see how this conversation might change the connection between the two of you. So, all right, what I see is that I definitely still like the fact that this person is coming forward with their doubts, but the way they're doing this, their approach is not great. And mainly because of this Eight of Swords, that fear. They're not basing this conversation on a constructive base. They will feel already hurt. They will perhaps already accuse you of certain things that perhaps didn't even happen. And so this could lead to some confusion, could lead to some issues here. We have the Hangman. For a little bit, this situation will be blocked. This connection, the flow of energy and love in between the two of you will come to a pause. And it doesn't mean that the two of you don't care for each other at all, because we have this Five of Pentacles. The two of you just want to be happy together. You want to go back to that place where you know you can be, because you've been there and you know how good you are together. But it's coming to a time here where that positive energy between the two of you will be paused, but just for a little bit. I say for a little bit because I mean, we have this Page of Swords here. We have someone who's still very much obsessed about the situation, about the partner. And I believe actually that this Page of Swords is in between, it's coming from the both of you. It's not just one person caring more about each other, about the other person. That's not the case here. I do sense an equal give and take here. And I do see right here a new start in between the two of you without that baggage, without those fears, without those doubts. And so I definitely want to look more into this Fool, because that's going to be key in order to understand what is going to happen in between the two of you long term. As usual, I don't think that communicating or just talking about issues is ever a problem, but it needs to be done in the right way, otherwise it can be very destructive. So let's see what to do in order to make sure that this conversation won't ruin anything in between the two of you, and let's see what that Fool is talking about right now, how things will change and progress in this relationship. I'll be continuing this reading in the extended version, and you can find the link down below in the description. This is going to be a soulmate reading for Gemini. What brings you to this reading is a painful heartbreak. We have Three of Swords. You're in a situation that you were really not expecting. This is a very abrupt ending and overall a period of emotional release. You're coming from few days, few weeks of a lot of drama and arguments, fights, all things that are really bringing you down. And right now you're just in need of an emotional release, expressing your sadness, maybe crying or do whatever you need to do in order to release the pain. I really like to see these kind of moments as cleansing as well. Pain is a necessary part of life so that we can grow from these challenges and move on more mature than ever. And in fact, this is what you're doing immediately after. And not just you, but also on this side, we have not your current partner, but someone that will enter your life very soon. They're going through a similar situation to the one you are going through, and you will see that you guys will cross roads just down here after releasing this emotional baggage. And we will start from you, the Death card. This card represents you bouncing back from that period of sadness and really heavy emotions and negative thoughts. This is when you decide to finally end everything and start anew. The Death card comes after the Hangman, so the Hangman, it's definitely the situation where you're at right now, dealing with the Three of Swords, thinking about all the things that happen and just going through that emotional release that we were talking about. Once that period is over, you will switch to taking action and ending all the things that no longer serve you. You are closing one door to open a new one. And also you realize that what you had was not right for you. And this transformation that you're going through, it's not only a transformation that takes place outside of you, but also within you. You realize that this person up here was not respecting you and was not doing the things that a normal partner should do. And here we are talking about really simple things like respect and communication and honesty. And this transformation right here talks about you realizing that you deserve those things, that you need those things in your life and in your relationships to make them successful and to make them worth having. This is a beautiful change and transition that you're going through. You have to realize that this is something that is absolutely important in your life, and having to go through this puts you in the position of being successful in going through this and realizing that those things are meant to be in your life. They're not optional. And regardless of the love and the attraction that you can have towards another person, these are not negotiable. As far as your future partner on the other side, as the first card we have the Seven of Wands. They are in a similar situation in a sense that their partner is not really respecting them and appreciating them. What they're doing instead is looking around and considering other options, jumping from one to another, maybe chatting online with other people, answering messages, sending pictures. And overall, this person right here has a lot of competition. There is a lot of people around their current partner that is interested not only in this person, but also they're interested in breaking up the relationship itself. I see a lot of jealousy, a lot of things that are not healthy around this relationship of theirs. And they're spending so much time in trying to protect this relationship, pushing away all these obstacles that are just finding themselves not enjoying the situation anymore. And overall, their self-confidence is just going down because they think, am I just that replaceable? Do I mean anything to my partner? Or are they just willing to move on to another person in no time? So they feel as though there is a mismatch in between them two, mismatch regarding their values and goals and vision for the future. They could definitely be involved with someone younger or someone that has a different culture, different values in general. They feel as if their partner has a lot of secrets and they're having a hard time finding their way into the situation because it's so unclear and so confusing that they don't even see where they're going with this anymore. Switching back to your side, we have you doing one of the most important things you could do at this point, the Five of Cups. You are taking care of letting go all the things that no longer serve you. As you see here, this person is throwing away the cups that held emotions that were not healthy and that were not worth pursuing anymore. And this is not a complete giving up, because as you see up here, we still have the two cups right next to this person, bubbling, filled with hope and love to share. So you're doing this in the right way. You're letting go of the things that are not helping you anymore. All those thoughts of what happened, why did it happen, how could I have avoided this, what if instead we did it this other way. A lot of things that you went through up here, and now after you decide to go through the transformation, you get to a place where you divided the things that you want to keep for yourself and that are going to help you moving on to a new chapter, and on the other side, the things that you don't want anymore. They're just heavy baggage that bring nothing worth having to your present and to your future. This will allow you to reach your full potential in life and can also symbolize forgiveness. Maybe after going through this and then this, you realize that you are this strong, powerful person that doesn't even need to hold a grudge. You really came to terms with the situation. You know that you deserve so much more that you're not even mad at them anymore. You're just like, you know what? You're not a match for me. So good luck to you and all the best to you. And at the same time, you're reflecting on what led you to this point, and you're really learning your lesson, which is the best thing you could ever do when you go through something this heavy. Switching back to your future partner, we have the Ace of Swords. They decide to not play along with the situation anymore, and they decide to really go for the truth. If you remember up here, we were talking about a lot of confusion and things that were not clear to them, but what they're getting into is a really straightforward conversation that they will have with their partner. They're going to sit down with them and tell them, this does not work for me anymore. Who do you want? What do you want? Does this have any potential to grow or not? Because if it doesn't, I am ready to move on today. I don't want to waste any more time into this relationship if all you're giving me is disrespect and confusion. I really got a sense that they're older compared to their current partner, and everything that they tell them, it doesn't really mean much. It doesn't really do anything because their partner is just in a situation and in a place in life that doesn't allow them to even understand where they're coming from with this conversation. So they will be very straightforward, and eventually they will end the relationship. And they will leave their partner surprisingly sad because they didn't see this coming at all. They just thought they had him in the palm of their hands. And this is because we will see also later, this is a person that once they're in a relationship, they give everything that they have. And that could be mistaken into, oh, well, I can do anything to this person. They will always be by my side. But that is not the case. It wasn't the case for you, and it's not the case for them either. They feel very motivated at this point to move on and find the thing and the person that they really want. Someone even more positive, like they are, that protects them and respects them enough to not put them in a situation that brings them down, brings their self-confidence down. And here you are on their way to them. Six of Swords. This is the final step in releasing your baggage. You're transitioning from one side to the other, from one chapter to a new one, leaving behind everything that you don't need anymore, moving out, moving on. This is a big mental shift, and you know that it's essential for your growth. You had this grand vision of what you want and what you deserve in life, and you are ready to take the first step to make this happen and to start going look for it. You feel the need to evolve and just get to a better place in life. You learned your lesson up here. You went through all you had to go through in order to feel ready to start looking for the things that you really want. This was a time where you had this checklist of things that really are not good for you and might be good for someone else depending on what they're looking for. But you just realized that a bunch of things that were happening in your previous relationship were not defining who you are and what you stand for. And now that you have this list, you're going with the flow. You're just letting the wind, as you see here, taking you to the next chapter. And while you're going through this transition, you will cross roads with your new partner, the Knight of Cups. They will be everything that you asked for. You put it out into the universe, you fine-tune your vision, and here it is. This very charming, romantic, and attractive person that almost immediately falls in love with you. This is a person that will take you to a whole new emotional level, new adventures, and just someone that is very open about what they feel for you. From the first day, I see you going to your first date, and just after a couple hours together, this person will start looking at you with dreamy eyes, and in their head, they will just see you as a couple growing old together. It will be very fast, a very quick and beautiful fantasy in their head. And they're not just someone that does this very often, but by talking to you, you will both find out that you will share the same exact values. The things that you are looking for, they're looking for. The things that are important to you are really important to them as well. And to build that foundation, you need to agree on the things that are non-negotiable. And these won't be just words. This is an energy that takes a lot of action in order to reach their goal, which could be anything. It could be beautiful morning messages, bringing you flowers, taking you to a road trip. They are on a mission to conquer you. And this is making you feel absolutely great. Seven of Pentacles. You see this as something that has the potential to grow and becoming a beautiful and stable foundation. You feel like you can really trust them. You feel as though you can make plans with them, and also you feel protected by them. And the beautiful thing is that after going through all of this, they will give you the strength to give it another shot. Someone else could have been thinking right now, well, all of this happened. Relationships are just not a thing. Regardless of what I feel at the beginning, it will always end up tragically. But you are not acting like that. You are really giving another shot, trusting this person, trusting the universe, and trusting yourself in being able to be happy. And I see you here, you're not just happy because you see that they are going to do everything that it takes to make this grow, but you are willing to put the effort yourself as well into this. You have this beautiful long-term view, and what's even more beautiful is that you find out that they have the same exact view, not for themselves only, but for the both of you at this point. They are absolutely attracted to you. Two of Cups. To them, this was love at first sight. They have this deep connection that they share with you, and you will find out that they will just always want to be in your presence, by your side, doing anything really, from going out to dinner, to buy groceries, or just being stuck in traffic and talk and get to know you more and more every single day. I see you both talking a lot at night, just laying in bed talking and falling asleep in each other's arms. This is definitely a beautiful time for you both, for the relationship, and you both deserve this so much. They are really focused on you, and there is a equal give and take. Two of Cups, very balanced. There is a physical and soul connection. And again, you share this similar vision for the future together. Although you are two different personalities, but together you create this beautiful synergy and a lot of trust overall into the other person and into this new relationship. What will happen is that these seeds will sprout. Nine of Pentacles. You will be rewarded of the trust and the leap of faith that you took here, regardless of whatever happened beforehand. You've been so brave and so more focused on the future other than being stuck into the past. And you deserve every single reward that you're getting because of this, because of you, because of how brave you have been. This card represents a very stable foundation. And as you see here, this person is here by themselves, which symbolizes that all you did, although it's a relationship and you love them as much as they love you, but this was for you. This is an achievement that is outside of the relationship itself. This is loving yourself and demanding from life the things that you deserve. No settling. And it's also talking about a relationship that sets you free. Although they are obsessed with you, and we will see it in a second, they know how to balance that. And they know that you're a person of your own and you need your own space, your own things. This is a very beautiful person right here. And that's exactly what you deserved. This will be a moment where you will see a lot of abundance in everything, in every area of your life. And you will love everything that you have around you, from your partner, of course, to the place where you're living, your apartment, your house, the job you will have. It's just a time where everything is bright and beautiful. As far as your partner, as I mentioned, they will be obsessed with you, the devil. And this card is not representing anything negative right now. They just see you as their drug. And they're getting to a point where they just don't see your life without you anymore. But also this card is talking about very good sexual energy. There is a huge attraction between you both. And this is pushing you into experiencing different things sexually. There is a very powerful attachment and appreciation, not only for each other's spirit and personality, but also a very powerful attraction, which really takes you to an enriching experience. And usually this card also talks about the honeymoon phase. So the reason why you also feel as though everything is shining and bright around you, it's because usually during those honeymoon phases, our whole world is in harmony. And that is beautiful. That's such a beautiful period that you have ahead. So many new beautiful adventures and things that are coming your way. You should be very, very excited. The common energy between you both is the Two of Wands, which makes perfect sense. You are in a place right now where you understand that what you have, it's not good for you, it's not right for you. And so you're ready for discovery. Discover yourself in a physical sense, but also in an emotional sense as well. And once you get together, that discovery and that planning will just get even bigger. Starting to plan a whole life together, exploring all of your options. We can live in the city, or we can move to another city. We can live by the ocean, on the mountains, just exploring the whole world by keeping your long-term goals in mind and really making those plans to achieve those goals, deciding to take the risk, being brave, regardless of the past that brought you here. Moving away from this previous relationship and understanding that the world has something bigger and more meaningful to offer. And you do have a whole world in front of you, and you're about to make the first step in it together.